So last night I watched Jelly Roll's weight release journey. And I say weight release journey because Jelly Roll went about releasing over 350 pounds by actually playing the inside game and the outside game. And as the author of the book, Stop Losing Weight, Release It, I talk about the difference between losing weight and releasing weight. You lose weight by following a diet, by simply just following the diet and being, keeping a strict adherence to your eating plan, nutrition plan, your exercise plan, what have you. You grind it through until you get the results you want. And it works until it doesn't. If you notice that 80% of the people that lose weight gain it all back, it's because they're not playing the inside and outside game. What I mean by the inside game is dealing with the emotional traumas and the triggers for why they eat in the first place. Understanding how and why they put the weight on. Throughout this entire documentary, Jelly Roll talks about what he was trying not to feel by stuffing it with food. And he treated his transformation as an addiction. For someone who had recovered from drug addiction, he understood the triggers and the mechanism for using something outside of yourself to self-soothe, to comfort. And what I love about his transformation, he put in the work. Yes, he had a nutritionist, he had Garrett Brecka in his corner, giving him his supplements, get everything done right. He refused to use GLP-1 because he did not want to risk having gastroparesis, where you paralyze your stomach. He didn't want to be sick and nauseous all the time. Being someone who has a vigorous recording schedule and performance schedule, he also didn't want to risk it affecting his voice, because some people had side effects that it affects your voice, the tone of your voice, and what have you. So he went about it by diet, exercise, nutrition, and emotional regulation. And if you watch it, and the reason why I tell everybody that you want to watch Jelly Roll's documentary on how he released over 300 pounds, is because he's showing you the importance of emotional regulation. He's showing you that it's absolutely necessary that you actually change the human inside while you're changing the physical part of you on the outside. If you lost weight and gained it back because you changed the outside and didn't work on the inside. In my program, we spend more time on the inside work than we do on the outside work, because we already have the outside protocol that releases body fat ridiculously fast. So we have already cracked the code on how to get the body to release body fat. We needed to help our clients crack the code on how to release the emotional baggage and the trauma that is stuck in those fat cells. And that's a process of allowing each emotion that came up. He talked about just the shame that he would feel as he was releasing weight, as he was having success. He was having more and more shame on how long he allowed himself to be in this 540-pound body. He felt the shame of the fact that he wasn't able to get it up with his wife, and he has this beautiful wife. He even said in his own thing, he goes, I married this big titty blonde, and I couldn't figure out how to make love to her. And in some cases, I couldn't even get my equipment to work because he was so metabolically diseased and challenged and inflamed. And it's such a beautiful transformation, because he literally talks about the truth about weight loss and weight release. You guys, if you're not willing to play the inside game, if you're not willing to figure out why you eat in the first place, why you turn to food in order to regulate, that is the missing piece of why you have not successfully been able to diet and keep the weight off. It's like the word diet in its origin was never meant to do anything with food and calories. It was it meant an overall way of living. It meant lifestyle, complete lifestyle. That means your sleep, your the way you think, the way you feel, the way you process your emotions, the way you hydrate, the way you move your body. It was a comprehensive program on life. It had nothing to do with the calories in, calories out. And yes, was Jelly Roll in a calorie deficit? Absolutely. and yet he still was running stairs and jogging and exercising and boxing, and he was doing all kinds of things to move his body. And the more he moved his body, the more he found that his body could move, the more exciting it got. But he never neglected once in his documentary how important playing the inside game was, how important feeling his emotions were. He said the most shameful but rewarding day of his journey was day one, when he promised Gary Brecka said, I just want you to go from mailbox to mailbox, and just we're going to keep adding a mailbox in his neighborhood until we get to 10,000 steps. And he calls, video calls, FaceTimes Gary Brecka and says, I'm out here on this fucking walk, man. And he's cursing like, I'm getting this damn thing. I'm getting my fat ass up and doing it. And it was raining, and he's out there, and he's got this, raincoat on, and he's out there in the rain. And he said, as he came back up the hill, his entire family was out there cheering him on, and it just broke him down to tears. That no matter how much he had betrayed them, no matter how much he had betrayed himself, no matter how much he didn't show up for shit and was just stuffing his face and letting them down, that they showed up for him. They showed up for him, and that was the most motivating moment of his life. He started that journey, and he refused to quit until he said he told his wife that his goal was to get on the cover of Men's Health magazine. A 550-pound megastar who was loved for him being 500 pounds, and yet he was in so much pain that it finally took him going, I'm done, I'm gonna do this thing, and having the people around him believe in him even though he had let them down 1,000 times. If you got people in your orbit that you tell them you're gonna do something and they go, yeah, right, and the fact that you're shifting into you're choosing your power and you're shifting into yourself, and they are there doubting Thomases or they're saboteurs, the real people, and sometimes this could be the people you love the most, and I think most of the time they're not afraid of you succeeding. They're afraid of you failing again, and how painful that's going to be to watch you go into depression again. A lot of times they try to sabotage you from you sabotaging yourself later in the game. But let me tell you this, if you really want to finally succeed at releasing weight and not losing weight, you're going to want to play the inside game. You're going to want to figure out what emotions are in your body every time you want to turn to food. Are you stressed? Are you angry? Are you in fear? Are you in shame? Or is that the shame loop that you're addicted to, that you're first stressed or in fear or angry, and then you eat, and then once you eat, you go into a shame loop when it makes you feel like shit, because sometimes you can be addicted to feeling bad because that's all you know. I highly recommend that you watch that documentary, and I'll put a link to it here in the description of my video here, because if you've struggled with your weight, and it doesn't matter how big you are, and I have women in my program that are 350 pounds, they're starting at 350 pounds. One of them has already released 60, 70 pounds in, I want to say 80 days. It's crazy, right? But she's also playing the inside game. But if you want to watch the video, and if you really want to understand the key to releasing weight, that means losing it once and for all and not getting it back, be willing to be with the emotions that come up, to recognize, journal, recognize when you're triggered, recognize when you find yourself in the pantry, staring at the pantry, in the refrigerator, staring at the refrigerator, you don't know why you're there. Ask yourself, put your hand on your heart and go, what emotions in my body? Happy, sad, mad, glad, afraid, shame, or sexual feelings. And sexual feelings are just blocked creativity, especially if you're an artist and you're having writer's block, or from songs, whatever. That means you're having a block, and that frustration is moving to anger, which is taking you to go to food. Pay attention, write it down. Look back at the end of the week, after 7 days of you doing this for 7 days, writing down every time you want to go to the refrigerator, every time you're choosing to eat, write down what emotions in your body. I promise you, if you can do this, you'll start to recognize their patterns, and then you'll be able to understand why you're going to food, why you're sabotaging. Look back over the week and see which emotion showed up the most over that week. What was the one that was the most chronic one that you were feeling every time you're going for food? That is where you start. If it's sadness, fear, anger, shame, identify it. And then once you understand what emotions in your body, allow yourself to be with it. Take a few seconds, just close your eyes and say, I have sadness in my body. It's a good one to have. Locate it where it's in your body. Give it a size, give it a color, and then breathe. Do some box breath, 4 seconds in, hold for 4 seconds, exhale for 6 seconds. That is going to allow you to start to down-regulate your nervous system, go from sympathetic nervous system stress to parasympathetic nervous system to where you're feeling calm. And you'll watch the urge to eat dissipate. You keep doing that, it'll keep you one day at a time, it'll keep you on your journey. And you'll start to understand that it's not about the food, it's how you feel about the food. It is the emotion in your body that's driving you to dysregulate, go away from regulation to dysregulation, to want to eat. And once you nail that, you'll find yourself having more and more success. And if you ever want any help with this, it's what I do. Just click the link in my bio and or holler at your boy, leave me a comment. Let me know if this resonates with you. If it does, like, share the video. We're looking to rebuild the channel. And it'll be really helpful if you actually like and share these videos and leave me a comment. Appreciate you. Namaste. Peace.